Some plants hide. Ginseng is one of them. It grows low on the forest floor in the cool shade of the Appalachian hills, beneath maple and poplar and the slow turning of the seasons. For most of American history, we believed it belonged to the wild, a fragile thing, surviving only where people had not yet reached. But that story was never quite true. Ginseng is not a relic of untouched wilderness. It is a species deeply intertwined with human land use, tended, harvested, and carried forward by the hands of those who lived among it. This is the story of one plant, one watershed, and the people who shape both. In the highlands of southern Tennessee, a small stream gathers itself from the hills, Hurricane Creek. It feeds the Upper Elk River, threading through forest and farmland on its way down from the headwaters. The water here is cold and clear. The banks rise into shaded slopes where leaf litter softens the ground and the soil stays rich and damp. These are the conditions Ginseng favors. Not wilderness exactly, but a landscape shaped for generations by the people who farmed its bottoms and walked its ridges. The plant persisted here. The question is why? Long before these hills were drawn onto any conservation map, they were already known. The Chickasaw and the Cherokee moved through this forest with intention, using fire and selective harvesting to shape the woodland around them. The forest they left behind was not untouched, it was tended. Ginseng grew in that managed forest. It always had. When settlers arrived, they inherited an old knowledge, how to read the land and how to take from it without using it up. In the 19th century, people came to these hills for the mineral springs, for the water, and the cures it promised. Around them, an economy grew from the forest itself. Timber, corn whiskey, drawn from Scottish traditions of distillation. A craft a grandson of this valley, Jack Daniel, would one day carry far beyond it. And the quiet trade in roots and herbs, ginseng among them. A single root could be worth a season's effort. The forest was not separate from daily life. It was the livelihood. Among the families who settled along Hurricane Creek were Joseph and Elizabeth Calloway Daniel. They settled here in 1809, part of a generation that turned forest into homestead and homestead into a place to belong. Joseph, a veteran of the Revolution, knew these woods. They knew which slopes held the right soil and which remedies the forest could provide. Elizabeth lived a long life in this valley and was laid to rest within it. Their story is woven into the land and into the roots still growing there. Then the modern world arrived. In the middle of the 20th century, the Tennessee Valley Authority dammed the Elk River. The water rose, and where there had been bottomland and forest, there was now a lake, Tim's Ford. It brought power and recreation, and a new shoreline that fell and rose with the seasons of the dam. The land kept changing. Today, solar arrays spread across more than 3,000 acres near the watershed's headwaters, another layer of human use on an ancient forest. Each change fragments the habitat a little more. The connected forest that ginseng needs, shaded, continuous, undisturbed, grows harder to find. And yet, in pockets, the plant holds on. So here is the question this valley asks of us. For decades, conservation has meant separation. Draw a line. Keep people out. Let the wild be wild. But ginseng has survived centuries of human activity, not in spite of people, but often because of them. It has not merely endured human-altered landscapes, it has adapted to them. The persistence of ginseng here, along Hurricane Creek, tells us something important. Perhaps the most effective conservation is not about building barriers between people and nature. Perhaps it never was. Perhaps the future of this plant lies not in isolation, but in a return to something older, intentional, informed coexistence. The knowledge that the family on the creek once held, carried forward with the tools we have now. What would that coexistence actually look like? It begins in the forest itself, in the canopy that filters the light, and the slope where leaf litter feeds the soil. It looks like landowners treated as partners, not problems. The people who own these woods know them best, and they can become the stewards of what grows there. It looks like working forests, carefully managed, selective thinning, healthy canopy, enriched soil, so that ginseng has the shaded, stable ground it needs to return. It looks like wild simulated ginseng, planted under ethical guidelines. A living crop that gives the forest economic value while keeping it standing. And it looks like seed. Berries return to the ground each fall, so the next generation has something to find. This is the work of Untangled Roots, to restore ginseng to the forest where it belongs, to support the rural families and the working hands that have always lived alongside it, and to rebuild the quiet biodiversity of these Appalachian woods, one shaded slope at a time. It is not about freezing the forest in place. It is about tending it, the way it has been tended for centuries. The story that began with Elizabeth and Joseph Daniel on Hurricane Creek is not finished. It is being written still, in restored beds, in returned seed, in a forest learning to be both lived in and alive. A living connection between the pioneers who came before and the stewardship still to come. The ginseng is still here, low on the forest floor, in the shade of the same hills, in the soil that has held it for longer than any of us can remember. It survived not because we left it alone, but because for generations, people knew how to live beside it. That knowledge is not lost. It can be remembered. It can be carried forward. Follow Untangled Roots and walk these woods with us, because the future of the forest may not be wilderness without us. It may be wilderness with us in it. And before you go, we'd love to know, where are you from? Leave a comment below.